What is the most important thing in life? The man in today's gospel asks a very direct question. He does not ask about complicated rules. He does not ask about rituals. He does not ask about who is right. He wants to know what is truly essential. And Jesus' answer is surprisingly simple. Love God and love your neighbor. But if we think about it carefully, that message does not stay only in a temple or in a church. It is something that is lived every day, in the most ordinary moments of life. Because life is full of moments where love is tested. When someone speaks to us in a way that hurts, when we feel misunderstood, when someone close to us makes decisions that affect us, or when life suddenly changes direction without warning. In those moments it is easy to close our hearts. It is easy to react with hardness. It is easy to think the other person is wrong. However, today's message reminds us of something very important. What is truly valuable is not winning arguments or proving that we are right, but learning to live with a heart that does not become hardened. Loving does not always mean agreeing with everything. Sometimes loving means understanding that every person is fighting their own battle. Some people appear strong, but inside they are tired. Some respond with coldness because they have been hurt many times. Others react with anger simply because they do not know how to express what they feel. That is why, when Jesus speaks about love as the most important commandment, he is not talking about a nice feeling or sweet words. He is talking about a way of living. Loving can mean listening with patience, forgiving when it would be easier to hold on to resentment, trying to understand before judging, or simply treating others with the same humanity with which we would like to be treated. Many times people get lost in secondary things, in arguments, criticism, appearances, and comparisons. But at the end of the day, when we look back at life, what truly remains is something else. We do not remember how much we knew or how many arguments we won. We remember who was there when we needed them. We remember acts of kindness, the words that lifted us in a difficult moment, the people who chose to love even when it was not easy. That is why today's message is so powerful. It invites us to return to the center, to what truly matters, to ask ourselves something very simple. Am I living with an open heart or a closed one? Because when the heart closes, life becomes heavy. Everything bothers us. Everything hurts. But when the heart remains open, even in the middle of problems, something different appears, peace. And that peace does not come because everything is perfect. It comes because we choose to live from love instead of resentment. Maybe today is a good day to do something simple, to be a little more patient, to respond calmly instead of reacting with anger, to listen to someone who needs to speak, or even to reconcile with someone in our own hearts, because life is shorter than we think, and in the end, the only thing that truly leaves a mark is how we treat others. Perhaps that is why this message is still as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago, not because it is complicated, but because it is true. In the end, the most important thing is not how much we achieve, how much we accumulate, or how much we prove. The most important thing is something much simpler, to love with all that we are, and to learn to see others with humanity. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. Your support helps these messages reach more people who may need them too, and if you feel that you need a channeled spiritual message for your life, you can write to the email in the description. It is a personal message prepared with prayer and reflection. If this message resonated with you, perhaps the angels want to speak to you in a more personal way.